Understanding the if statement in Python. In programming, we often want our programs to make decisions. For example, if a student's grade is above 75, they pass. Otherwise, they fail. If it's raining, bring an umbrella. In Python, we use the if statement to control the flow of a program by checking conditions. So what is an if statement in Python? The if statement is a decision-making statement in Python. It checks whether a condition is true. If it is true, the code block inside the if will run or be executed. If it is false, the code block will be skipped. Here we have the basic syntax of the if statement. If condition, hash the block of code, where condition is an expression that evaluates to either true or false, and indentation, spaces before code, is required in Python to define a block of statements under an if. Let's make an example. A Python program that checks if the age is greater than or equal to 18. If true, a message "you are eligible to vote" is printed. Note that the print statement should be indented. Otherwise, we will receive an indentation error. Another variation of the if statement is the if-else statement. This is used when there is already more than one condition in the problem. The syntax is, if condition, execute this block of code if true. Else, execute this block of code if false. Note, only one block of statement is executed. What it does, it is a conditional statement that executes different blocks of code depending on whether a given expression evaluates to true or false. If condition evaluates to true, Python runs the code inside the first block, indented under if condition. If condition evaluates to false, Python runs the code inside the else block, indented under else. Example, age has a value of 16. If age greater than equals 18, print, you are eligible to vote. Else, print, you are not eligible to vote. This program checks if a person's age is at least 18. If yes, it prints that they are eligible to vote. If not, it prints that they are not eligible to vote. With age equals 16, the output will be, you are not eligible to vote. The if, elif, else statement. This is used when we have multiple conditions. Elif means else if. The syntax is, if condition 1. Code to run if condition 1 is true. Elif condition 2. Code to run if condition 2 is true. Elif condition 3. Code to run if condition 3 is true. Else, code to run if none of the above conditions are true. What it does, the conditions are checked in order from top to bottom. As soon as one condition is true, the corresponding block executes, and the rest are skipped. The elif can only be used after the if, but we can use more than one, and it must be between if and else. The else can only be used once, and when it is used, it must be at the end. Else is optional. Let us make a sample program with multiple conditions, the temperature checker program. What this does, the program gets the value of temperature. It uses if, elif, else to check multiple ranges of temperature. If temperature greater than equals 40, it prints, it's very hot. If 30 to 39, it prints, it's hot. If 20 to 29, it prints, it's warm. If 10 to 19, it prints, it's cool. Otherwise, if less than 10, it prints, it's cold. The conditions use comparison operators and logical operators, and. This program demonstrates how if, elif, else can handle multiple possibilities in a clean and structured way. The nested if statements. An if inside if. And nested if in Python means placing one if statement inside another if statement. It allows you to check a condition only if a previous condition is true. Example, num equals 10. If num greater than 0, if num modulus 2 is equal to 0, print positive even number. What this program does. A variable num is set to 10. The program first checks if num is greater than 0. Since 10 greater than 0, the condition is true. Inside that block, it checks if num is divisible by 2. Since 10 modulus 2 is equal to 0, this condition is also true. Therefore, it prints positive even number. In short, this program identifies that 10 is a positive even number and displays it. Python uses indentation instead of braces to define blocks. Conditions use comparison operators such as equal, not equal, greater than or equal, and greater than or equal. And only one block runs in an if, elif, else chain. Real-life analogy of if statement. Think of if statements like traffic lights. If the light is green, it means go. Else if yellow, it means slow down. Else means stop.